The Nigerian Senate has directed the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control not to extend the December 31, 2025 deadline for banning the production and sale of alcoholic beverages in sachet and small bottles. So this resolution followed a motion of urgent national importance sponsored by Senator Asupo, who explained that the policy is in line with global tests. The practices aimed at reducing alcohol-related harm, particularly among the young Nigerians. So the government has already granted manufacturers a 1-year grace period to sell off their old products so that they will not have any reason to say that they were not given enough time. But companies are currently seeking for another extension. They are asking the government to give them more extension. And this is a move the senator warned could undermine public health and weaken the credibility of regulatory agencies. So during the debate, lawmakers expressed concern over the widespread abuse of cheap, high-content alcoholic drinks, linking them to rising cases of addiction, domestic violence, and road accidents. So Senate President Godswill Akpabio described the decision as a necessary step to protect the nation's youth and urged NAFDAC to fully enforce the policy without compromise. And I would like you to know that since January 2024, NAFDAC has intensified enforcement efforts, sealing the factories and seizing products that violate the ban. So the agency maintains that these drinks are deliberately targeted at young consumers and is posing a serious health and social risk. So for now, the Senate's message is clear. The deadline stands and the focus is on safeguarding public health and not protecting the profits. All right, so this is a very commendable act because a lot of people are addicted to this issue of alcoholism. And when it comes in cheap prices, there's a lot of risk that comes with it. So this small sachet of alcohols that the young people are consuming is affecting the health, is affecting the thinking faculty of these people. So this is a necessary step by the federal government to ensure that it stops the domestic violence, it stops the addiction, the road accidents, because we go around, we see drunk drivers. And these are one of the reasons. So it's commendable. And still on the newspaper headlines, the federal government has announced sweeping agricultural reforms aimed at ending hunger, boosting food production and cutting post-harvest losses, estimated at over $10 billion annually. So according to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, the reforms align with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and are designed to ensure food sufficiency, to strengthen the rural livelihood, and also to modernize Nigeria's agricultural value chain. So key initiatives include the National Agricultural Growth Scheme, the Renewed Hope Mechanization Program, and the Nigeria Post-Harvest Systems. The government is also recapitalizing the Bank of Agriculture with 1.5 trillion naira and creating a 250 billion naira financing window for smallholder farmers. All right, the Minister of State for Agriculture, Senator Sabi, said the reforms will promote climate-smart farming, develop resilient crop varieties. All right, so the government's broader goal is to reduce the import dependence and to also revive the agribusiness in the country and position Nigeria as a leading food supplier in West Africa. All right, if the country will at least take the business of agriculture very serious, there's a lot of revenue, there's a lot of income that can come from that, there's a lot of opportunity for the younger ones, job opportunity, job creation from this agribusiness. So it's a nice move by the federal government. All right, next on it, we see President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to defeating terrorism and restoring peace across Nigeria, following the renewed U.S. concern over insecurity in the country. So speaking before the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, Tinubu said his government remains steadfast in ensuring security, unity, and economic progress. He emphasized that Nigeria will continue to engage global partners diplomatically and also will not be intimidated by international external pressure. All right, so his comments comes after, as we all know, after U.S. President Donald Trump redesignated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Last week Friday, the President of the United States of America tweeted on his Twitter handle, now called X, about naming Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And yesterday, a video came up on the same matter, where he was speaking about naming Nigeria, taking actions against the country if nothing is being done about it. All right, so he has reportedly ordered the plans for possible military action against the Islamic extremists. Okay, so meanwhile, the Nigerian groups in the United States have rejected the idea of foreign military intervention, insisting that security must remain the responsibility of the Nigerian government. But what have we seen so far? We all know that this security of a nation is tied to the government of that nation. But over the years, we've seen this continue happening. For 10 years, APC has ruled the country. But we've not seen anything positive about the insecurity of the country. So a lot of people agree that it's a nice step by the United States and it's pushing the government to do what they are supposed to do, what they would have done long time ago. All right, let's take other newspaper headlines. On the Nation newspaper, tariffs, import restriction, and others for review. Federal Executive Council rolls out approvals. 43 billion naira for Lagos-Ibadan Road Phase 2 and other projects that they want to go on. Makinde approves 88 billion naira road projects. And still on the Nation newspaper, Nigeria targets 32% emission cut by 2035. All right, on the Daily Trust newspaper, 3 teachers attend to 207 pupils in FCT school. And this is a very sad one. How can just 3 teachers be attending to 207 pupils? It's something that the government needs to do something and ensure that they employ more teachers in these various schools, in several schools that in the country. So there has to be a lot of teacher employed because there are shortages. All right, next on the Daily Trust, 15% tariff. Petrol may cost 1,200 per liter. Diesel 1,194 naira per liter. And Federal Executive Council okays $396 million credit for internally displaced persons and Sokoto Health Project. All right, we read this before on when we started the newspaper headline. Despite peace deal, we are still on Daily Trust. Bandits kill 2 Katsina community leaders. Despite peace deal, bandits kill 2 Katsina community leaders. I'm still trying to understand why we put our trust on these bandits. Why we come out and say that we are having a peace deal, that they are not going to do any harm again. Because who is in the right sense that would come and be trusting them, trusting their words, that okay, allow us to move freely in the community and no harm will come to the people? It doesn't work that way. This is not how to handle terrorism in the country. So all the peace talks should end as a nation, and they should swing into action. They should start doing things that they are supposed to do, and not to be sitting around, government officials sitting around with bandits, sitting around with terrorists. There should be no negotiations with these terrorists at all. All right, on the Punch newspaper, we see that federal government rolls out new plans to tackle food shortage. And Abuja Disco sacks 800 workers amid power crisis. Abuja Disco sacks 800 workers amid power crisis. Vehicle imports slides 10% on weak consumer spending. Newly inaugurated Tinubu campaign office demolished in Benue State. All right, on Anambra governorship election, INEC distributes sensitive materials. 55,000 policemen mobilized. So tomorrow is for Anambra State. That is the time they are going to decide the next leadership, the person that is going to rule them for another 4 years. And we hope that the people will make the right choice. All right, on the Guardian newspaper, old battles linger amid new threats, fight for survival and fruits. Tinubu vows to defeat terrorism as US plans military options. Anxiety, tight security as Anambra elects new governor tomorrow. All right, Senate orders NAFDAC to outlaw sachet alcoholic beverages by December 31. All right, this is all we can take on today's papers. And we will take a short break. And when we come back, we will go straight into the topic for today. Stay with us.
It's about to get welcome to the show and a presenter that won't stop giving it their all. Hi, my name is Ogio, your pilot one, and I'm passing the mic to the one that has current affairs in her palms.
Hello everyone, my name is Odili and I'm passing the mic to the judge and peacemaker in Volt FM Sports.
I am Godwin and I'm passing the mic to the Igbo culture expert giving us cultural gist.
Today we're going to make a monthly. I'm by Tichinazo. Actually, me and Mike, Tonya, who know on your scenario company, my journalist in Nanjo.
What's up, my people? I go by the name Nonso with a magic voice, aka King of Badbella United, and I'm passing the mic to one person where they click for anything like fuck at all.
Hi Volt family, my name is John and I'm passing the mic to the driver whether they collect fare, you know now.
Hi neighbor, it's Jason here and I'm passing the mic to the one that has the magic to heal your broken heart.
My name is Malaika and I am passing the mic to you. Yes, you, for being part of
Volt 104.3 FM.
Thank you for staying with us. All right, you are still tuned into High Voltage, and this morning we are talking about the religious freedom and the Sharia controversy. Now let's start from the beginning. Former U.S. President, the U.S. President, sorry for that, Donald Trump recently declared Nigeria a country of particular concern. And this was a week ago, yes, on Friday. He tweeted that he has named Nigeria a country of particular concern because of what has been happening, because of the genocide going on. So he says that there's Christian genocide in the country. Meanwhile, not everyone agrees to that. Even as of today, people are still talking about this. Some people are asking, when are they going to swing into action? When are they going to send the military? Let them come and bomb all the terrorists already. So people, and in the series of the posts, Trump even went as far to saying that he has ordered the U.S. Department of War to prepare for possible action in Nigeria. So this statement alone is enough to cause chaos in this country. Is enough to cause chaos in the federal government, in those seats, those people in those positions. All right, so, and it came with a strong support from about 31 members of the U.S. Congress, who praised him for standing up for the Christians that are being persecuted. But here in Nigeria, like I already said, the reactions there, it's mixed. It's mixed. Many citizens, especially from the faith-based groups, are worried about how this paints Nigeria internationally. Northern groups and Islamic clerics have described Trump's move as a direct assault on Islam and Nigerian sovereignty. All right, now let's recall what President Tinubu said yesterday because it is crucial. He told the Federal Executive Council that his administration would not panic. This was during the executive meeting. He said that it would not panic and it would handle the issue through diplomacy, that they are ready to handle this issue. So he insisted that there's no persecution going on in Nigeria, that terrorism affects both the Christians and the Muslims, and that Nigeria remains a society where every citizen's faith is protected by the Constitution. These were the words of the president yesterday during the executive meeting. So his words were later enforced by the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, who told journalists that Nigeria had officially opened diplomatic talks with the United States, and there was no panic mode in the Aso Villa. All right, according to him, government wants to address the matter responsibly, not through noise, but through strategic ideas, that they are going to be strategic about it and not come out on social media to be making noise about the whole issue. All right, so this is where the whole issue, the whole thing gets interesting. Because on the other side, Northern elders under the Northern Elders Forum have described Trump's comments as empty threats, accusing the US of arrogance and hypocrisy. So they claim that both Christians and Muslims face the same insecurity challenges in the North, and that the talk of genocide is something that they are just exaggerating for political reasons. Okay, so the Northern Elders Forum also suggested that America's problem may not be about religion, but about Nigeria's growing partnership with China. So the claim is not about what is going on in the country, but because of the fact that Nigeria is partnering with China. So this is the reason why they want to intervene. That they're targeting something else. That is not all about the Christian genocide, that they're just using it as a way to come into the country. All right, so meanwhile, the coalition of northern groups warned that any attempts to sanction northern states for implementing the Sharia law could backfire, since for many people in the region, Sharia is not just a legal system. It is their identity. It is their faith. So they claim that while you are trying to protect the Christians, also protect the Islamists. That if everybody has to be free with their religion, then they have the right to their Sharia laws. That is the claim of these northern groups. But this is where we are talking about. How do we balance these Sharia laws with a constitution that says that Nigeria is a secular state? Can we truly say that there's freedom of religion when 12 states enforce laws that do not apply to other states in the country? And should foreign countries have the moral right to question us on that? So these are questions that we need to face this morning. These are the questions we need to face. And yes, the phone lines are open on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. Your conversation, your opinion is needed. Let us know what you think about this issue, from when it started and what is currently going on in the country. The response of the president, saying that yes, they are strategic about it. They have plans already. They're already discussing with the US. And then the northern groups, the Islamists, coming out to say that they should be respected, the Sharia laws, should also be respected, and that the threat of the United States is not about the Christian genocide. Rather, it is about the growing partnership of Nigeria with China. So do you think it's this whole thing? Because we know that China is already backing up Nigeria. They've already spoken against the United States president. So China is in support of Nigeria. So can this claim be true? That the US president is not really concerned about the genocide killings in the country, but about the fact that Nigeria is partnering with China and is growing strong and strong. All right, yes, you can call us and let us know what you think. So let's move on to, while all this is happening, China has thrown its weight beyond Nigeria. The Chinese ambassador met with the National Security Advisor, Ribadu, and publicly stated that China opposes any foreign interference in Nigerians' internal affairs under the pretext of religion or human rights. So he says that it will continue to support Nigeria in its fight against terrorism and internal stability. So you can see what is happening. Geopolitics is now mixing with religion and diplomacy. And at the same time, the local voices are rising. So that we have the Nigerian Evangelical Fellowship urging the government to disarm the terrorists and ensure that there's justice. So now we are saying that whether this has to do with, whether this is political, whether the threat from the president is political, what we are saying is that the government should deal with the insecurity going on in the country. We just read in the newspaper headline that 2 people were killed despite the peace talk. Bandits killed 2 people. Despite all the peace talk that has been going on in the northern states, they are still killing. They are still kidnapping people. They are still taking away the homes of people. There are lots of internally displaced persons in the country. And we see the government pushing money into the camps. Meanwhile, if the issue of insecurity is being dealt with, maybe this money can go to other things. If people do not have to run away from their communities, from their homes, this money, these loans that the government are taking, can go into other sectors. Instead of using it to support those in camps, there are millions of them in different states being taken care of because of terrorism in the country. So whether it has to do with partnering with China, what we are saying is that the government needs to step up. The government needs to stand and start doing something right. Do what they are supposed to do. And not just to, why they say they don't want to make noise about it. We need to see that their actions are a result. We need to see that result. And we need to see it fast. We seriously need to see it fast, happen fast, not just come out and give us promises. Come out and tell us that this is what is going on, but we are not seeing it. So this issue of genocide is raising a lot of concern, and it's been lingering. It didn't start today. It didn't even start when Donald Trump said it. Now, the Nigerian journalists have been talking about this. But we thank God that an international body, it took the international body to say something for every other person to understand that this is what we are facing in the country. So let us know what you think about this whole situation. We'll be taking our first call this morning. All right, we lost that call. Please do want to call back on 0706 048 5853 or 0915 570 8347. All right, while we are still talking about the Nigerian Evangelical Fellowship that has been urging the government to disarm the terrorists and ensure that there is justice for victims, both the Christians and the Muslims, justice for these families that have lost their loved ones as a result of banditry and terrorism. They also say that the violence in Nigeria is not faith-based, but driven by insecurity, corruption, and poor governance. We also have civil society groups that have staged protests in Lagos, warning that Trump's statement could destabilize investor confidence and worsen the fragile peace. So again, where exactly do we draw the line? Where do we have, should Nigeria simply defend itself diplomatically and move on? Do we have to defend ourselves? Or do we need a broader national dialogue about this religion, about this law and governance, to stop the outsiders from defining our reality for us? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location.
Yeah, this is a Chigo from Eno.
All right, please go ahead.
With our government, people, you know,
Mm.
because just like you said, it comes to this
Your line is breaking. We can hardly hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you now. Very well.
Yeah, so I was saying that I align with you the fact that this thing has been going on even before Trump
Said something.
said something,
Mm.
or even before anybody went to report in US also.
Mm.
You know, I still know that my parents were based in the north before.
Okay.
The only reason why they came back is because of this genocide and persecution and whatever. You know, we were in this country when I think there was a cartoon in Denmark, and then they started killing people in the north. You know, so these things have been going on. So enough of the propaganda, enough of paying people to go and protest and all those noises, trying to align with China or whatever. Get to work. That was even what Trump said, that if people don't do anything about it. So the easiest thing to do is to get down to work. Oftentimes they will tell us they know where these people are, they know where they are, they can get them and this and that. And then you have people negotiating, people like Gumi, that are the middlemen negotiating. You know these people, get down to work. The killings are still going on, they're still kidnapping people, we're still, so you're not doing anything, you're just based on propaganda, trying to know who will side you and who will not side you, paying influencers on social media to say this or say that. It doesn't make sense. These people don't they value human life. We're not talking about animals, we're talking about humans. These are people dying. In almost sense, I asked them to imagine that this is your parents, your siblings, your kids that are being killed. How will you feel? Get down to work. It doesn't take anything to tackle insecurity if you are determined to do it.
Yes.
They have more information than we do. Get down to work. Stop propaganda. Stop shouting and screaming. Stop defending whether it's genocide or not. Get down to work. That's what is needed. And even I don't know why the Northerners, I don't know why they are threatened. Because what Trump said is that he's going to go all out for the terrorists. He didn't say Nigerians or our government. He mentioned specifically that he's going to go out with terrorists. Except when he added
Islamic,
maybe
yes.
that's their problem. But we should be happy about this. Let it get our government on their toes. And then they'll start working. Simple. Get down to work. No need for propaganda. Save human lives and everything. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. 0706-048-5853 or 0915-570-8347. From what he said, I totally agree with it. It does not take anything to fight this insecurity. If only the government, they have the political will. Because we have the finances, we have the resources, the human resources, we have our soldiers there. But what we lack in this country is the political will of these office holders. Because they've not really seen reasons as to why they have to deal with insecurity in the country. They've not really seen that reason. They are not determined. If not, this would have been dealt with years ago. We wouldn't be talking about it in 2025. If only they've sat down to discuss the ways. So we have the Tinubu has been appointing and inaugurating service chiefs. And what are they doing? Have they gone to work, or they are just sitting there giving, granting interviews and talking about it? What are they doing in those northern states? What are they doing in all the states in the country? It only takes political will for them to do something about the insecurity going on in the country. And of course, he mentioned a name, Gumi. Gumi is not someone that the country needs at a time like this. I mean, you can't come out and the national TV and be saying that we need to negotiate with terrorists. You can't come out and say that we need to negotiate with bandits. The people, the states that have been negotiating, how far? What has it done for them? Has there been any benefit for them? The negotiations, they keep negotiating and still, they are still killing their people. So this is not what we need at a time like this. We need action. We need the soldiers, the army officials, the police to go into, to go into action, to start doing something. Attack the terrorists. Send them where they should be, they are supposed to be. Because these people they no longer think about the humans. They no longer care. It's just like their heart is at the back of they don't care. It feels like they derive pleasure in killing people. So they are okay with that. And should the government be okay with sitting with them and discussing, negotiating peace talk? Enough of that peace talk. This is not what we need as a country. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Musa. I'm calling from Enugu.
All right, please go ahead.
Thank you. This is what is going on in Nigeria. Our government, they are not serious. If China love us so much, why didn't come to Nigeria and help us fight this Islamic terrorism? That they are saying is because of the relationship between Nigeria and them. That's why US is coming in. Let me tell you, I'm a Muslim.
Okay.
When I say I'm a Muslim, I'll be a Muslim till I die.
Okay.
If the Christians cry out that they are killing their people, and we Muslims think that we are not comfortable about that, why do you think we Muslims are we comfortable that they are killing us? Because we are comfortable, that's why we do not cry out. Now the Christians have cried out that they are killing their people. Let the US come to Nigeria and finish this Islamic terrorism. Simple as that. See, if they want to come into the relation coming, all the relationships Nigeria government are getting with China, I think it's beneficiary to we citizens. It is not for their own pocket. Most of these reasons, they are not going. How can someone call me the intermediary with terrorists to negotiate?
That's the thing.
Who does that? And is going for is any of the child in this country? All of them, their child is abroad, schooling there, doing whatever they are doing there. Then now we that we are in Nigeria here facing this kidnapping, killing of human beings has become normalcy in Nigeria. Okay, now they are using killing of human beings like in the Buhari regime, they kill 12,000 persons. Now in Tinubu regime, they kill 1,000 persons. The difference is there is different. At the first place, are they supposed to kill any citizen? Are they supposed to kill any citizen in the regime? Why would you be using a number of killing of people be a yardstick of your regime and the other person's regime? It's uncalled for. This wickedness is just too much.
Okay.
It's too much. Our government, they are using us to play gambling. They don't see our life as anything. As they wake up every day, they don't think of what will you do to those citizens that make them cry again. But one thing is very sure, God is watching all of us. Person that is doing bad knows that he is doing bad. He's looking for someone that is saying that this thing you are doing is wrong. But deep beside him, he knows that what he's doing is wrong. They are killing people. Trump said that if Nigeria did not do anything, that he will come to Nigeria and kill Islamic terrorists. Why someone will be using the name of Islam be killing other persons including his own person, including we Muslims, including us. And we Muslims keep quiet, we are not saying anything about that. Is it right?
It's not right.
It's not right. Let them come. It is the government that is benefiting from this country. If they think that is anything that you see is high in this country that they want to come and take, let you come and take it. We Muslims, we are not benefiting from it. We are not, let them come and take it. We have oil, we have everything, but we are still buying everything high prices. Thank you. My name is Musa. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you.
One day, all these things will come to an end.
Amen.
And Nigeria will be a safe place for every citizen.
Amen. This is what we are hoping for. Yes. Yes.
Inshallah.
All right. Thank you so much. Wow. 0706048585 0915-570-8347. Let us know your own opinion. Let's hear from you. What you think about this whole thing. Thank you so much, Musa, for calling in and explaining all this, telling us all this. Because the thing is, yes, we are not, the truth is all of us, we are not comfortable with the killings. So if a particular group of persons are complaining, don't come against them. Don't be shouting at them. Cry out. You too should cry out. Because the truth remains that everybody is being attacked in the country. Nobody is safe. Not one person is safe in this country. So why are you against the fact that some persons are crying out? We see videos of mass burials of Christians being killed in the northern states. And they are saying that they are tired of this. Are you not tired of it? The government that is telling us that there's no genocide. Are you not tired of the killings? All these the leaders coming out to say there's no genocide. Are we not seeing the killings going on in the country? So we all are tired. Is it until it gets to one of your family members, that's when you speak up and say, yes, there's genocide in the country? No, we shouldn't allow these things to be so. 0706048585. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Please stay away from your radio.
My name is okay now.
Yes, okay. Your name and your location, please.
My name is the one I'm calling from Enugu.
All right. Please go ahead.
I want to say is that if you look at the Nigerian government, they don't want to do anything. Trump did not say that he is going to come to Nigeria. Trump would say that if you people did not do anything, Nigeria. And you can see that the Nigerian government did not want to do anything. Since that time, Tinubu supposed to have ordered the Air Force, to have the Air Force, to have the armies. Order them to push. And not for those people, if you have to bomb them, you bomb them or to shoot them. What have you done since that time? You have never done anything. All of what they are saying there is saying that looking to cover it. Let them do. That is what we want as a Nigeria. If they not do it, let God come and do it for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So yes, if they are not ready to do anything, if the federal government is not ready to swing into action, then we are okay with the international body coming in to do it for us. So these are what the citizens want. We want peace in the country. And if you as a government or official, you are not ready to do it, then Trump should come in. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, your name and your location.
This is Boss from Emene.
All right. Please go ahead.
Please, I heard you say that China is against. Of course, I'm not surprised. Nobody should be surprised about it.
Okay.
Because I believe that we all know from information that China is involved in illegal mining going on in the north, and that this terrorists or whatever they are called are the people giving them or providing security for them then, for them to carry out whatever they are doing. So we know they will support the terrorists. Coming to Nigeria will be the blessing that we have brought to this country, because it's obvious, everybody knows it, that our government has failed as far as fighting terrorism is concerned. Even in economy, they have failed. elections we conduct in this country. I even pray that Trump will come and help us in that. Because once we start carrying out good election in this country, most of our problem we have. It's because most of these people in governance are equally, they came into that place through something resembling terrorism. Because they will terrorize you at the polling booth, they will shoot you, they will tell you to go to court. So, if Trump is coming, any day he's wasting is even too bad. Because any day he's wasting,
more people are dying.
So I feel that he should come today. Now, if the North wants to practice Islam as they keep saying, why don't they want the Southeastern man to go out of this place? Because we are not in their religion. We say Nigeria will practice a secular state. And somebody is again saying he wants to practice Islamic state. And when the Biafrans say they want to ask for referendum, they will refuse. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in. All right, this is the last call that we'll be taking this morning on the show because of our time. Yes, we do not have enough time again. So this, as we are rounding up, from Trump's threat to Tinubu's response from the protest in Lagos, do you know, it now feels like everybody wants Trump to come get involved in everything that is happening in the country. Just yesterday, PDP members held a protest asking Trump to come and deal with the internal crisis in the party. Wow, that was funny. Honestly, that was funny. But then we want Trump or the government, because he said the government needs to move fast. So if the government is not ready to move fast, then they can step in and do something about the insecurity going on in the country. One thing is that the world is watching us. But more importantly, Nigerians, we are watching our leaders to see whether this justice, the peace will truly be for everyone. So this has been a great show. This has been a great program, and I'm so grateful for you for being part of it, for lending in your voices, for telling us your opinion, what you think about the situation of this country. And you remember, this is High Voltage, your weekday news analysis show, from Mondays to Fridays, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. See you again next week. Have a wonderful weekend. My name is Odili.
It's about to get
Welcome to the show and a presenter that won't stop giving it their all.
Hi, my name is Ogio, your pilot one, and I'm passing the mic to the one that has current affairs in her palms.
Hello everyone, my name is Odili and I'm passing the mic to the judge and peacemaker in Volt FM Sports.
I am Godwin and I'm passing the mic to the Igbo culture expert giving us cultural gist.
Today we're going on a monthly. I found by Tichinazo. Actually, me Mike, it's only no onion scenario company sick, my journal Lanjo.
What's up, my people? I go by the name Nonto with a magic voice, aka King of Badbella United, and I'm passing the mic to one person who they give for anything right for Catholic.
Hi Volt family, my name is John and I'm passing the mic to the driver when they collect fare. You know now.
Hi neighbor, it's Jason here, and I'm passing the mic to the one that has the magic to heal your broken heart.
My name is Malaika and I am passing the mic to you. Yes, you. For being part of
Gold 104.3 FM.
Don't let anybody take away your vibe, because your vibe are your vibe and you own the right to that vibe. Keep pushing forward. You are stronger than you think. Your vibe are your vibe.
doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Gold 104.3 FM.
To
Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports.
Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a goal! It's a goal!
Entertainment. News and politics.
Enugu State governor has set
This is your radio.
Gospel.
and let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within